Ireland's landscape is home to a network of treasured lakes and rivers, forming interconnected ecosystems. This precious freshwater environment supports a unique diversity of plants and animals. Our lives depend on healthy water bodies to provide us with clean water for drinking, agriculture, tourism, and industry, as well as areas for flood protection and recreational activities. Unfortunately, our freshwater environment is under threat from invasive species. Invasive species are animals, plants, or pathogens that would not normally occur in Ireland, but are here because of human activity. Invasive plants and animals from all over the world have been introduced to Irish waters. Invasive species outcompete native wildlife, damage ecosystems, and can spread disease. Once an invasive species is introduced and becomes established, they can be very difficult, if not impossible, to control or eradicate. Their introduction can have a significant negative impact on other species, on the functioning of the water body, and on how people interact with it. Invasive species can block waterways and riverbanks, interfere with fishing, damage boats, increasing maintenance costs, and make navigating in boats, canoes, and kayaks difficult.
Lagarosiphon major, or the curly waterweed, it's a highly invasive aquatic plant, origin southern Africa, and it grows in freshwater systems to a depth of maybe 5 metres. Its optimum growing depth being 1 to 4 metres. It's very widespread in Ireland, particularly in artificial watercourses, but thankfully it's not that common in natural watercourses, although it is prevalent and very extensive in Lough Corrib in Galway and also in the Cluny system in County Kerry. It's a very fast-growing plant, typical of many invasive species, and in suitable habitats, which are most static or slow-flowing watercourses in the country, it grows rapidly, producing very expansive, tangled mats of vegetation on the water surface. The plant spreads very readily by fragments. These are small parts of a plant, smaller than that are viable in the water. These break from the parent plant, which we see here. They can break under wave action or through human intervention, float in the watercourse for often a day, 2 days, and they can spread considerable distances in that manner, ultimately sink, root, creating a new population.
Many different invasive species have already been found in our lakes, rivers and waterways, and the number of new arrivals is increasing.
Here we have the Zebra Mussel. It's a very small bivalve, meaning 2 shells, very small organism of origin the Caspian and Black Seas in Eastern Europe, that is now very widespread in Irish watercourses, particularly Irish freshwaters. It is a highly prolific organism. Each individual, even one this size, is capable of producing up to 1 million juveniles each year over a lifespan of about 3 years. The juveniles are produced as planktonic organisms, and they are released into the water where they float for a number of days to be carried over considerable distances by water currents. Commonly they settle on solid surfaces such as rocks or stones in lakes or even in rivers. But worryingly for us, and from a biosecurity point of view, they also like to settle on structures such as the hulls of boats, such as the propellers of outboard or inboard motors. In particular, they seem to fancy intake pipes on such motors, but also intake pipes on large installations such as water treatment plants, waste treatment facilities, where their growth can cause very significant problems. On such systems, they cause significant fouling that can cost large amounts in terms of maintenance and indeed repair.
As a water user, you may unknowingly help spread invasive species from one water body to another. Many invasive plants and animals are small and hard to spot. Some are microscopic and can survive for days or weeks on damp boats, gear, equipment, footwear and clothing. Invasive species are frequently spread via boat hulls or propellers, and within bilge water or engine cooling water systems. They can also attach to all equipment or clothing that comes in contact with the water, such as trailers, tyres, paddles, and wetsuits. As a water user, you can protect the environment and the sport you enjoy by following these simple steps. Check your equipment, boat, and clothing after leaving the water for mud, aquatic animals, or plant material. Clean everything thoroughly as soon as you can, paying attention to ropes, bilges, trailers, to the inside of your boat, and areas that are damp and hard to access. Use hot water, steam, or a high-pressure spray if you can. Dry all equipment and clothing for at least 48 hours before using it again. Some species can live for many days or weeks in moist conditions. Drain water from every part of your boat and trailer before leaving the site. Always remember to check, clean, dry, and to disinfect where thorough drying is not possible. Make sure everything is clean and has been dried thoroughly before you use it in Ireland. By following these simple steps, you can protect nature and keep waterways accessible to boats, anglers, and paddle sports.
As many of you are probably aware, invasive species is becoming a huge issue with us, and it will affect angling in a big way going forward. So we would like everybody, boat users and anglers, to adhere to the check, clean, dry protocols. We as anglers have a responsibility to do the right thing and protect our waters. Please check, clean and dry coming and going to waterways.
We can all play a role in protecting our valuable freshwater environment from invasive species as we enjoy the outdoors by remembering to check, clean, dry